This is the Art Beauty Podcast where we tell the real truth about the fake shit. And boy, do I have an episode for you. I've been so excited because today my fabulous co-host is Lori Jacobus. She is the president and global CMO for Revitalash, that company that's getting all of our lashes gorgeous, curly. Welcome, Lori. I'm sorry, welcome. I'm so excited for this interview today.
Thank you. I am equally excited. I've actually been preparing for this and listening to all your past podcasts and just getting really jazzed. So yay, we're here.
So, and everybody, if you're wondering why I'm so excited, so Lori and I share some common backgrounds working for some common companies, which is always fun. And Lori, you really have done it all when it comes to beauty. You've been in the marketing side, the advertising, the PR, the product development, education. I feel like when it comes to beauty, you really have done it all.
I have been extremely fortunate, very lucky to have had a really wonderful career in the beauty industry. As a matter of fact, we were just talking the other day. I've been doing this now for 37 years, which is crazy when I think about it.
You don't look like it, by the way. So a testament to the products, right? But a testament to some of the good brands that you've launched. Okay.
Yeah, absolutely. I was going to say, I think because of that, because of the companies that I've worked for and the ingredients that I've learned about and, what works and what doesn't and what you should use, I feel like that has been a huge helper to me. So a lot of help.
So I asked you because we met at the New Beauty Show and, we were talking about Revitalash but like our little pre-chat before that, we realized that both you and I have worked for Murad. You also, I found out, helped launch Strivectin, which one of the first makeup artists I ever worked with swore by that, and still does. And she's got beautiful skin. Deb, if you're listening, I'm talking about you. Stunningly beautiful skin. But like, wow, really powerhouse companies. But you told me you're like not afraid to like kind of spill a little bit about what goes on behind the scenes, the good, the bad, the ugly.
No, not at all. I mean, I think by now, the majority of those stories have been told in some capacity or another. And yes, I've been privy to things behind the scenes that probably most people are not privy to. And it has just been an incredible ride. And I'm happy to answer all of your questions.
So, you started by saying this. You started by talking about, your career in beauty has really led you to find out what works, what doesn't. Do you mind sharing, like, what are some of your favorites? What are your go-tos?
Sure. So now, I mean, obviously my skin is very different today than it was when I started at Strivectin and when I started at Murad, which were some years ago. And so for all of my, let's just say over 40 listeners out there, I really think the most important thing you can do for your skin is find truly medical grade products, doctor developed, physician developed, pharmaceutical developed products that deliver results. And I'm a huge fan of stem cells. I know a lot of people don't like it and they feel it's controversial and et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. But I'm going to tell you, that's where the magic happens. The magic happens at the level of the stem cell in the product. So I'm a huge fan of, and I know you've talked to these lovely ladies at Allergan with the TNS. Love that serum.
So yeah, okay. I was gonna say, it's like TNS is amazing. Also, by the way, so Glow Skin, who I really like. If people, when it comes to growth hormone, or rather, if you feel like you need something that is not derived from human tissue, they have a good option. But you like the Skin Medica TNS.
I've just really seen it be effective. I mean, I had the opportunity just before I came to Revitalash to actually help develop a line of skincare products that were focused on stem cells specifically, as both human stem cell, human mesenchymal stem cell, as well as plant stem cell. And these were very these stem cells were very ethically derived. It was, bone donor, a bone marrow donor, done much in the same way that donors are handled. So it was very safe. We worked with a lab. I had a personal experience of watching my skin change and evolve as a result of those products. And that made me, I was like, that's it. That's
Do
just
you
it.
feel do you feel can you tell us what the line was?
Yeah, so it's called Stemology.
Okay.
And it is still around. Unfortunately, I don't think it's the exact same formulas as when I was working there. I don't even know that it's the same media. I think it's more plant based now. But it was I'm telling you, I worked there for 5 years and my skin did not age in that 5 year period.
Do you feel like there and this is the so I'm so excited because we're just gonna get honest here. Like, do you feel like the human derived stem cells perform better than the plant, or was it kind of like a 50-50?
No, I do. I do feel like matter of fact, I know it performs better. And without
Right.
getting, too far into structure function claims and things like that, you know, when you use a skin specific stem cell and you're putting that on your skin in an available way, that there's a communication that happens that your body understands. And
Right.
with the plant, while I think there's beautiful nutrients and there's wonderful vitamins and minerals and things like that are going on your skin, there's not a communication aspect that's happening to really be able to affect at the same level that a human stem cell does.
I mean, we get honest here. And for me, I'm like, I don't really care where it came from. And I'm sorry, I'm going to be honest. If it works, if it's going to give me results, I will slap it on my face. I think about Botox. So I remember growing up and it was like, if a can
Hmm.
was dented in the supermarket, no, 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 don't get that because you could get botulism. And that was like something that was like, I was terrified. And then when I heard that they were kind of using that same
Right.
toxin to inject into the face, I was like, hell no. Oh, no, 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 no. Uh-uh.
Yep.
But now I'm like, Where else can we put it?
And the thing is, I mean, Botox is one of those things like people are getting that younger and younger and younger. I mean, I know 20-year-olds that are getting Botox, right? Because they're doing it to sort of help stave off aging, right? To relax that muscle so they don't get that deep crease, at the age of, 35 or 40. And everybody has to do what's right for themselves. I
Totally.
understand there's definitely things that are controversial. I try to live my life, to be honest, as thoughtfully as I possibly can. There's a lot of things that I do with my lifestyle. I am a vegan. There's a lot of things that I do with my
Oh,
lifestyle
you are?
to try to live that sort of very conscious life. But at the same time, and people will say like, "Oh, well, you're a vegan, but you're using like human stem cells," and then we all just do the best we can. Pick your
Thank you for
poison.
saying that. Seriously, pick your poison, Botox, Dysport, whatever it is. My
Yeah,
suggestion is pick one of them. Um,
absolutely.
thank
I love it. I love it.
thank you for being so honest though.
Yeah, of course.
And I think that it is. It's true. It's like, you know what? We're just all trying to do the best we can. I love that you're a vegan and that you're not just tied to vegan skincare. I've done
Yeah.
a number of interviews. I was just talking with a woman from Alginus, which is a vegan line. And I was like, it's so great because I know some vegans and I never really thought, hey, it's just as important what you're putting in your body as what you're putting in your skin. Um, but I love that you shared that you're like, you know what? No, because this works. It's so interesting to me too, because I think, not to put down any of the lines, but I look at some of my
No.
friends who will go at, oh my gosh, La Mer, right? La Mer
Yes.
is like,
Yes.
so expensive. And I always say, if you've got the money to spend on that and it makes you feel good, do it. But for me, I'd rather take that $200-300 and go with a product like you said from Skin Medica or something that has clinical backing.
Exactly. And I don't work for Skin Medica. I'm not getting paid. I'm just telling you this is
Would you
my
please and then
own
just hook us up for the rest of our lives?
this is yeah, exactly. This is just my own experience, as
Yeah.
somebody who look, I started, beauty. Strivectin was the first beauty brand that I worked on. And at that time, I was into skincare, but I wasn't really into skincare. I
Right.
wasn't really like, oh my gosh, I have to like fight off aging. I was in my late 20s, early
20s.
30s.
Yeah.
I was not worried about it. And that was sort of my first introduction. I was like, okay, this Strivectin stuff, like this is a nice, like I like this. It's a good moisturizer, which is really what it was. I mean, there wasn't
Right.
really a lot of magic soup happening in that first iteration of that product, but it was good and it was my introduction. But what I quickly realized as the aging started to come on was, okay, wait a minute, this is not enough. this is not, I need to be using an AHA, BHA. I need to be making sure I'm cleaning out those pores. I mean, the list goes on and on and on.
Well, your skin is phenomenal. So let's talk.
That's very nice.
So
Thank you.
things that you really like, the Skin Medica, the TNS.
Love it. Love it.
Okay. What
Use
else
it.
is it? What else is in
Religious.
your, yeah, tell me like what else is in your, on your shelfies?
Well, I'm a huge, and a lot of people don't believe this, but I'm a huge fan of toning the skin. You know,
Okay.
I'm not a 3-step lady. I'm like an 8-step lady.
Oh
You
yeah.
know, and a lot of people will be like, oh my gosh, do you really need toner? Do you really need an eye cream? And I read articles all the time, you know, oh, don't bother with an eye cream. It's the same. It's this. But look, one of the first places you're going to see aging on your face is under your eyes. And the skin there is so thin, you
Yeah.
know, so you got to use a powerhouse. You got to use a
Yeah.
powerhouse on your under eye area. And I do. I actually go back and forth between the new Alginus product, which is a dark circle kind of
You
product,
like
which
that?
I
I was
love.
just talking to them about that, and they were like,
Yeah.
This is their new SKU. Oh, you like this? Oh, good.
Yeah, it's
Okay.
great. It's great. Yeah.
Amazing. Yeah, they're going
And
to
then
be on
I
our
also,
podcast. FYI, for everybody's listening, shameless plug, in a couple weeks. So
who
cool.
is,
Alginist.
who did you say is
Tammy,
listening?
Tammy, Tammy,
Oh,
Tammy is there.
okay.
Yep.
Yeah,
But she
yeah.
was just telling me
So
that this is like the newest, hottest SKU for them.
yeah, it's great. It's fabulous. And I also I will use the TNS product for under eyes as well. I'm a, you know, cleanse every day and exfoliate every third,
Okay.
religiously,
Okay.
you know, cell turnover, you know, really making sure that you're building the collagen. I recently, and this is serious tea because I haven't told anybody this, I recently got threading sutures in the bottom of my face.
What did you?
And
Okay. Tell.
I did. Yeah.
Did you
So I'm
love
not
them?
really I'm not a huge invasive person. I don't like pain. I don't like bruising. I'm just weird about that. But, you know, I started noticing these lines and I just didn't like them. I just didn't like them. And so after talking to a million people in this
Right.
industry, you know, somebody said to me, look, I had the same problem. I tried the under the
The
skin
threading.
sutures and it worked really well for me. So I went and had a consultation and they told me I was a great candidate for it. So I watched a video and I went, oh my God, put it off for
And you were
8 months.
horrified. Don't
I put it off
watch
for
the
8 months. I
videos.
can't do that.
Uh-huh.
I can't do that. I can't do that. And then, you know, this Zoom thing, right? Looking at our faces every day. Oh my God. I don't think we're meant to stare into a screen every day.
No.
So I thought, okay, I just need to go do it. And I did, and it wasn't terrible and it wasn't painful. And I'm very, very happy with the results I got.
Do you know what kind of threads you did?
I
Was it the
do
Nova
not.
thread or the
They're the Nova
PDO?
threads, and they're called sugar threads. So
Oh,
they're not the big barbed ones. They're very
okay.
fine.
Okay.
Yeah, they were like, you're a newbie. Let's kind of start you out slow, kind of see how it goes.
And where did you do them?
They're actually right here.
In here? So I you which you can't I actually just did Althera. So when I touch my face right
Mm,
here, it hurts. But I get heaviness in here. And so like I've got a round face. So for me,
yeah,
any
me too.
lines like this, filler is not great for us because adding volume
You're
in
right.
it, it's not.
Well,
But
I
I've
always
heard
say I don't want to look like I got stung by 3,000 bees.
right. But the threads, I've seen, and the threads are also really good for very slim people. So my boss, a woman that I work with, sorry, somebody that I know, also got the threads, and it's incredible because she's got a very slim face, and it just, it put them off. But that's something I'm glad. I don't think that people very young should start that unless
Oh
it's,
no. Oh no,
this is
it's not
something that I
even.
would say
Yeah,
these are
not
one of the things
necessary.
that like wait until you need it because it does cause it's going to cause some damage underneath and like you just
I do
have to
one of
do
the
them every
things.
year or so, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And one of the things that I really liked about the concept of them, again, going back to my history in skincare and all the different things that I've experienced and done is, you know, whenever there's a wound response,
Hmm.
your body produces collagen to that
Collagen.
area. And so I loved the fact that I was getting this beautiful sort of collagen-y kind of thing going on because there was this this thing there that was causing the collagen to build. And to me, it made sense. And I know that doesn't make sense to everyone, but for me, with my experience, it made sense. And I'm, like I said, I've been very pleased. Now, would I do my whole face? I don't know.
Well, and that's what I've heard. I've heard that if you think that you're going to need a facelift, that they don't know what's going to happen with the scar tissue there. That's the only reason I say
Hmm.
don't start too young, because you
Exactly.
don't want that repeated damage. From what I've heard. But yes, I actually, Laura, I feel like we're so this is like so kismet right now, because uh I also am interviewing next week a woman about the different types of threads.
Oh,
Because
wow.
I remember it was like about a year ago, my dermatologist started doing them and was like, "Oh, you should look into this. It's really interesting." But at the time, I would talk to a lot of doctors and derms, and they were like, "Nope, no, and now in the past year, everybody's doing it.
Yep. I have a
Yeah,
friend who's had, I mean, she's her whole
whole
face has
face.
been done. And I have to tell you, I mean, it has made such a huge difference for her. She looks beautiful.
Beautiful. I mean, I grew up, my mother is, Korean, and she always used to go, "What do because but we have, like, the heavier
Hmm. The
cheek in
front.
here,
Yeah,
the
the front
front,
face.
but she would always, like, pull her. I mean, it's just, like, such a memory I have of my mama. Mama, you're listening, and you do this. And it would always be like, "What do you think?" And now I'm like, "This is the thing. This is it.
Yeah.
They've created
Yeah.
it. I
I mean,
love it."
it's a real solution. For me, it wasn't, I didn't want to do my whole face. I
Right.
just really wanted to try to
Well, you
soften
don't
these
need
lines a
it.
little bit.
Yeah.
Again, I'm not going to be getting anything serious in terms of injectables, or it's just not my game plan yet. I always say to everybody, never say never,
Right.
never
Well,
say
I didn't
never.
start it's funny, going back to Botox, I didn't start Botox until I was 35. And I'd known everybody, and right before I got married at 32 or 33, I can't remember anymore. I think it was 32, and I remember going to this doctor, and she's like, "Please let me give you some Botox, like, it'll."
Oh,
And
oh
I
my
was so
gosh.
No, but she was like, "For your foot," because she's like, "You won't be." And I was too afraid at the time. I was too much of a wuss.
Sure.
And, thank
Sure.
goodness it's the photos, you can retouch any line out. But now that I know how great it is, I was like, damn it, I should have just done it.
Yeah, I remember being I was very young. I was probably 26 or 27. And people were inviting me to Botox parties that they
Mhm.
were having at their house because they had a friend who had a license. And I remember thinking, what in the world is going on? That's just insane. That is crazy. I'm sticking a needle in my face.
Right. With
And then here I
poison.
am, I've got the thread. So who am I to be? Never
But
say never.
but this is why I also love talking with you, because it's funny. I also started in this beauty industry in my 20s. And I remember my mother used to say to me, she's like, with no offense, but I don't want to hear a 20-year-old tell me about how to stave off wrinkles. Like, you don't have them. So I do think that, and I shouldn't say that. There are some 20-year-olds who do, but I do think it's important to hear, as we get like a little bit more mature,
Hmm.
what and to have this kind of girl chat about what are you using? What do you find that works? Because, again, like the products that just feel good or smell good, that are still good in your
Sure.
20s and 30s
Sure.
might not be as effective in your 40s plus.
You know what? That has completely been my experience. Like I said, I started out, I was like, oh, this Strivectin, this is great. I love it. That led me to, oh, this thing here. I went to work at Murad. Oh my gosh,
Right.
Murad, world of products, 100 and something SKUs. You've got the vitamin C line for the pigmentation, you've got the HA line for the older skin, you've got, I mean, just
The hydrodynamic was my favorite. We've talked about this, and now
we have,
I'm not gonna dig too deep. And I'm not here to trash anything, but I
yeah,
don't think that people understand. So Murad was sold to Unilever,
correct.
which many companies that happens to. Um, and I think they changed the formulation. I would bet my life that the formulation of my favorite product is not the same. I,
So
I don't know if like people know that that happens.
I was just going to say, I'm not saying this is what they did. So I'm not making any claims about
Claims.
how they approach their business. But as a woman who runs businesses, who understands cost structure, right? Oftentimes, I can tell you at Murad, yes, we were cost conscious. Yes, we tried to be mindful of cost, but I'll tell you at the end of the day, we really wanted to create great products. And that
Right.
really was our focus.
And
We
it
had
did. It's why it built like such a cult following.
absolutely. We had Dr. Murad sitting there at the helm. I didn't do anything without consulting with Dr. Murad. Does this make sense? Do you like this? Try this out. Is this good? Because he knew he's a brilliant man. He understands. He's a
Yeah.
doctor, a dermatologist. So I often know that when companies are sold, the first thing those new companies do is look, they want to make them profitable. And
Yeah.
so this will mean looking at things that maybe don't meet certain margin criteria and figuring out how to cost cut. So I've noticed that particular product is different. I've heard it from other people as well. I couldn't tell you, although I will say that was one of the best things that I worked on when I was there, because I got to really be a part of that. And it was
Thank
awesome.
you. It
It was
it
awesome.
was so like I said, when you work in beauty, and especially for me who works on like the editorial side, I get to try everything. It is such
Yes,
a
yes, yes.
blessing. And I when I worked at Murad, of course they were giving me a product. But I fell in love. The hydrodynamic quenching essence and or the serum and also the moisturizer were my two favorite products. And I always used to kid around, and people have listened to this. I said that Murad left me with like two very expensive habits because my mother also fell in love with it. And then I just had to buy it. Right. So afterwards I
That's
was
great.
hooked. It was like, I'm hooked on these products now. And the packaging had recently changed. And I know somebody's working in PR there and they sent it to me and I'm like, it's not the same. So not I have to say my mom was still like, I'm gonna use it. But I was like, nope.
Yeah. Yeah. Isn't it the
Wah,
worst
wah.
when you have a product that you love? I mean, it's like your religious, your go-to, like this is my product, and then you go buy it and you use it and you're like, what happened?
And I had no idea that you were behind that. So we didn't meet. We weren't at the company at the same time. And I was there. I think they'd
Yes.
just been bought by Unilever
And I
um,
left just before that happened.
just before that. And you kind
Yeah.
of filled me in, and I was like, "Oh, of course, this makes sense." You're not making
Yeah.
any claims here, and we're not, listen. Also, Murad is a great brand. Again, I think like in your 20s and 30s and intros, but right now, mama needs results, and the
Yeah.
hydrodynamic was giving me great results to me and my mama,
Mama and mama.
mama and mama. But
Yeah.
not so. No, it's such a bummer.
Yeah. Yeah, it is
Such a
a
bummer.
bummer, but that's when you go out and you start looking again and figuring out, okay, what do I need? What can I do? And maybe you're revisiting your entire regimen and thinking, what can I add? I mean, collagen is so hot right now,
I
right?
know. What are your thoughts
Because
on collagen in products? Because you formulated it, right?
oh,
Or you worked on
hydrodynamic.
formulations, but
Oh
you
yeah,
for
I've worked on formulation. Absolutely. The thing about collagen is, well, first of all, it's very difficult to find quote unquote vegan collagen because it's either porcine um,
right,
or fish
right,
derived, right? So
right.
it's really, really difficult to get an effective collagen that isn't from an animal source. The other thing about collagen is the it's got a very large I can't remember the name
Molecule
of it, molecule.
or
It's a very large molecule, so
molecule.
it doesn't really penetrate. So
Yeah,
unless it gets broken down into its chain aminos, it really can't get in to do the work that it needs to do. And
right.
most collagens that I've looked at don't have that technology. Now I
Like the
did work on
micronized,
collagen.
right? Yeah.
Yes,
I see,
correct. And
I remember from your ad because they had a
that's
product
right.
with the micronized because it's like putting a very large ball into a very small hole. It's
That's
not gonna
right.
happen, so it sits on top.
And I worked on that product as well.
Yeah, yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
which one was it? Was that the hydrodynamic?
No, it was actually I can't remember what it was called, but it was a serum product. I think it was in the silver line, if I'm
Okay.
not mistaken.
Isn't
Yeah,
it funny how quickly I mean, I had this, because I was on QVC and now it's kind of all gone the way. But I did remember I always stuck with me with some of the collagen products. I'm like, is that micronized collagen?
exactly. Yeah, you have to look for that. And again, consumers don't know, right? They're thinking, oh, collagen means collagen. They don't really understand the marketing lingo that's being used, or how to really make sure that it's going to work for them or produce results. And it's unfortunate because then you spend the money and you try it and you're like, oh, I don't look
I
any
don't really
different.
notice it.
It's not really doing anything.
Here's the other thing I have to ask you. What is your thoughts on collagen supplements?
I think that they can be incredibly effective. I have people that I know that swear by them, but again, animal sourced collagen, right? That's the magic. The plant sourced collagens, from what I understand, don't really have the same benefit as the animal collagen based products do. I don't take a collagen product because I am a vegan. I
Right.
tried to be a vegan. I don't want people to come at me and be like, well, you're a vegan, but you're doing this and you're doing that. Like, I do eat honey, sorry, but I do.
Right.
Even though some vegans would say that that's not being vegan. So
Ugh. Listen,
I don't,
vegan
let's just say
police, back off, okay?
it
Just
happens. It
back off.
happens, and I'm not
I
sitting
eat a
here trying
steak
to
every
be,
Sunday, so come after me. Well, no, it's interesting because the
uh,
collagen I've heard from, different doctors, and listen, I've also, but they say, listen, at the end of the day, collagen's a protein. Once it hits your stomach is breaking it down like any, it's not like saying, oh, this is collagen, let's put it here. So
exactly.
they're like, you might as well just eat a steak or fish or something, or get your protein like that.
Yeah. Yeah. To me, I
That's
mean, the magic things for me are, you've got to have the acids, the AHA, BHAs. You've got to have vitamin C. Got to have it. Got to have
So
it. Vitamin
can
C.
we
Gotta
keep
have it.
digging deep down? I'm so psyched for this. So like you said, going back to you said before, you like a toner. Is there a
Yeah.
brand you like?
So I was forever and ever and ever the Murad Resurgence toner girl. That was my toner.
Love their line,
I
that Resurgence line, but used
It's
to.
beautiful, right? But no more. So much for that toner. It's out the door. They
Uh-huh.
discontinued it, which is kind of a bummer. So I've kind of been on a toner search, and I tried, I just recently tried a Natura Bissé toner, which I didn't
Okay.
really love. It was okay. It had a weird kind of a scent, kind of left like it had a brown hue to it. I don't know. I just didn't really love it. So the one that I'm trying right now, which I actually am liking, and I'm going to go way old school here, is Epicurean.
I've never even heard of Epicurean.
Epicurean Discovery. It's one of the very first brands. It actually that ever was a spa brand. It launched when Burke launched in Burke Williams way
Okay.
back in the day, when I was getting my facials, and it was my first experience kind of with like, oh, this is real skincare, right? I love their products. I don't love them all, but I love many of them. And that toner, I'm really liking it so far.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm
Uh,
really liking.
and you mentioned exfoliate every 3 days. So toner every day, exfoliate. So what do you use to exfoliate?
I use a exfoliating cleanser, and I just started trying. I'm right now using it. I was using the Murad AHA BHA,
Mhm.
but I just recently switched to the Skin Medica AHA BHA.
Oh, do you like that?
I
Love
do,
it.
and the reason I like it is because I feel like it has the ability to have that mechanical exfoliation, but not jagged edges. The edges are very
Is it
soft.
jojoba beads?
No, I don't think it's jojoba beads. I'd have to go look back and look at. I don't
Because
remember, but
another thing I
they're not
remember that from the
ragged.
Murad. Murad was like, when I met, oh
Yes.
gosh, I can't remember the woman. She was one of the other formulators, educators. She was maybe in her 50s, 60s, short dark hair. She was great. She'd been at the company forever, but she showed me sort of
Was
under,
not Lori? Is it Lori? There's a
maybe it was
Lori.
Lori. Maybe it was Lori.
Um,
Gosh, but she showed me, because my first skincare product that I remember is that apricot scrub that we all
St.
thought was
Ives.
so good. St.
St.
Ives,
Ives.
everybody had it. And she was like, this is horrific. It is causing micro tears on the
There
skin.
you go.
And so she was like, the benefit of the Murad was that it had the jojoba beads, which are smooth. So you're getting the
Right.
manual, you're getting the chemical through
Right.
the AHA, BHA, but
The little beads, from what I understand, I think there's actually been a ban on those because they were
oh, right.
getting
Cause they were
into
bad for the
yeah, the
ocean.
fish.
Yeah.
Yeah, the fish were eating them. Yeah. So I'm not sure what this uses specifically. I don't remember off the top of my head. I just know that it works. It exfoliates in a clean way without making the skin irritated or making the skin red, which I love because a lot of times, it can be very harsh.
Yeah.
You want it
I'm
to
not
work, but you don't want it to cause damage.
I don't so I feel like I'm a big fan of retinol.
Yeah.
But I go through periods like this winter for whatever reason, my skin couldn't take it. And
Yeah.
again,
Dry.
you also don't wanna be it was always dry, it was always peeling, and I'm like, "This,
Yeah.
number 1, isn't cute." And number
No.
2, if you're irritating your skin so much and I don't have problematic skin, it was like, "Why am I doing this?" But I'm back on the retinol. I found a new one, I can't think of the name, it's like a prescription, it's like one of the newer products, it's, like, not as harsh. I'm also using the Skin Medica, which I like, and trying
Mhm.
to get that back in, but I kind of
Mhm.
rely on that for my exfoliation as opposed to,
Right. Well, a lot of people will just get a Clairsonic and they'll just Clairsonic the heck out of their face with a cleanser. And I'm not a fan of that. That
no, I
for
think it
me,
scratches
that's
your face.
exactly. I'm not a fan of that. I would rather use something that's a little more gentle. I
Mhm.
don't you do not need to exfoliate your face every day.
Right.
That can actually cause a lot of irritation. And it's so funny. Dr. Murad, when I would, go on press tours with Dr. Murad, he would always talk about, inflammation, how inflammation is your friend, because inflammation, actually means something's happening. There's like a healing happening and a regeneration happening, which I see. But I think too much of that inflammation actually can be a bad thing.
Yes, too much inflammation can start to break down the collagen. You do
Exactly.
want, listen, it's that fine balance of I just had Ulthera, which is causing injuries
Correct.
to the skin so that your skin goes into a repair response, builds collagen, and voila, is stronger, thicker, more beautiful.
Exactly.
But if you were doing that all the time, I think that it's eventually just gonna,
I
cause
think
a
it has the
breakdown in the
opposite
system.
effect.
Yeah.
Exactly. It has the opposite effect.
So you mentioned vitamin C too. What's your vitamin C go to?
Actually, it's kind of funny that you mentioned that. Right now, I'm using a vitamin C cream from this Epicurean line, and I'm really liking it. Do you ever feel like you kind of want to, like, you find something that works, but then you're like, I don't know if it's working anymore. Maybe I need to switch things up.
Always, always.
Yeah, so
But
I've kind of been in that phase with vitamin C. I've been like, you know what? I'm not really finding a vitamin C that I'm really loving. So I tried this Epicurean vitamin C and I really like it. I'm really, really liking it. And you know
I
what else I like is that SkinCeuticals product.
which one? They have a
The
vitamin C?
CE.
Oh, the
CE, yeah.
CE. Oh, the SkinCeuticals.
Yeah.
CE ferulic, like that go-to. I don't love
Hmm.
the packaging. I feel like if it's
Don't
C,
love
it
the
should
packaging
be
either.
airtight. I just got one from Revision that is
Mm.
very nice.
I'm gonna have to check that one.
But you can see I'm wearing it. I actually just put it on today. It's very emollient. One of the things, here's like a little insider tip, which I should have remembered for today. But when I'm doing anything on camera, like in a studio, I've started to forego any kind of moisturizer in the morning. And I use the SK2, that Patera.
Patera. Yeah.
Listen, I, I bought it on a whim. Um, It's so expensive. I'm not going to give it any accolades other than when I have to do something on camera and I moisturize in the morning with that, because it does. It leaves the skin moisturized enough. Then I use
Sure.
the invisible supergoop. I can't think, the
Oh yeah.
unseen.
Yes. Hmm.
My makeup, like right now, you can see how shiny I look. There's no shine, there's no slippage, there's no nothing. My makeup stays put from the time that I get on
Wow.
set to the end of the day. That is an insider tip, and that is when I use the Patera. Otherwise,
So I use my insider tip for how I keep my eye makeup on is I use the Revitalash
oh yeah.
Aqua Blur. So it's a hydrating eye gel and primer. It doesn't leave you greasy and shiny. It's this beautiful finish. And you could, as soon as you put it on, you're like, cooling, refreshing. And then I put my makeup on and my makeup stays in place all day.
I love it. And I feel like we do need to talk about Revitalash because if you haven't gotten it by now, this is a woman who's worked with the best of the best, who knows everything. So the fact that you went to go work with Revitalash, I know that this is something that works. Starting with the product that I have to say was like the biggest. I can't believe that every beauty company isn't doing this. That double-ended mascara primer. So the
Hmm.
primer on this product is blue.
Yeah.
Do you know, I was a big fan of the Chanel primer, but it always used to be like, you put it on. The Chanel primer was white. It was expensive. It was
Yep.
white, and then you would always see through it, right? Or it would start to cause like your instead of having that true black mascara, you would
Hmm.
have like a grayish tint, but you could always see like one or two white spots, no matter
Right.
what I did.
Yeah.
Duh,
So I use
duh.
that same product. I use that same primer.
Of course, make the primer blue.
Yeah. Yeah. So when I got to Revitalash, they had two separate SKUs, a primer and a mascara. And what I
Did you put
quickly
it together?
realized, huh?
You put it together? You were like, "We
We
need."
put it, yeah. And the reason I did that was because when I started using them, I was like, this primer is kick ass. This is a
Mhm.
killer primer. This mascara needs help. We need a different brush. We need to throw it all out and look at it and put it back together. And I'm telling you, that double-ended volume set, that
Phenomenal.
thing is globally like hot, hot, hot.
Phenomenal. And yes, and you know what's really cool too? I feel like this will be the summer, first of all, in New York, I think this is gonna be the summer where people are, like, having sex on the streets, because it's just gonna be, like, party everywhere, but I think that I'm gonna just sometimes rock out with just that blue primer. For the brown
It's
eyes, it's
beautiful.
so pretty, and,
It's
like,
beautiful.
it's like a blue. It's so
So
fun. I can't wait to, like, bring back the '80s.
Princess Di was the blue mascara lady. She wore blue mascara a
Mm,
lot.
okay.
And if you've ever seen pictures of her with sporting this gorgeous blue mascara on her lashes, this is very reminiscent of that look, which is classy, elegant, but a little bit of fun, just a
Yeah.
little touch of fun. It's beautiful. It is lengthening. It is volumizing. It's an awesome, awesome look. It's a beautiful look.
Is there another, Revitalash product, like, that where what you said is your favorite? You love the primer.
I love the primer. It's actually one of my favorite products. I also really, really love that high def brow gel. I have it on right now.
Oh,
It's just,
nice, yeah.
I just love it. I love it. It's
And this
easy.
is
It's fast. It looks good. You don't have to be a makeup artist to put it on.
going back to the, going back to the sort of results-driven brands, this is a brand that was also developed by an ophthalmologist.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah. So, and actually the innovator of the lash serum category, we were the first ones there. It's very interesting when, because I was very heavily into skincare. That was my sort of lane, my sort of thing. And when the Revitalash, opportunity came along, it was like, I don't know, like I don't really consider myself like I don't really know a lot about like lash serums and things like that. But then when I met the doctor and I understood the background and I really got to know the company, I was like, there's no way I can't work here. I can do something really wonderful here. And if anybody knows me, I'm all about like I want to leave things better than I found them.
Ugh, I want to talk to you every week. I feel like that
Oh.
this should just now be the let's dig deep in with Amber and Lori because you have so much knowledge. Um, do we cover all of the, like, other things that you use too? Because I feel like people now will get mad at me if we don't.
Oh, I would was one more. There's one more product that I would recommend, and again, it is unfortunately in the TNS line, which is their freaking hyaluronic acid. I mean,
Oh, yeah.
yeah, their
The
HA5. Have you
HA5,
used it?
they just sent it to me. So did Revision. Revision, thank you very much, just sent me a line because it was actually I had Ulthera done, and the doctor actually recommended, Revision and benefit of my job. I was like, "Hey, send some stuff over." So
Okay.
it was between the Skin Medica, which will be next month, and the Revision this month. Both of them, I said to my husband last night, I'm like, "That's probably like $5,000 worth of skincare right there."
Yeah, it's a lot.
So
It's a lot. But the HA5, one of the things I really love about it is it's very the when you put it on. So I don't use it as my only moisturizer.
okay.
I put it on after I do my full skincare regimen and I just let it sit. And then
Mm,
I go back and I do a moisturizer because what I find the HA5 does is it delivers moisture in a different way. It's very cooling. It has this very healing sort of effect when
okay.
you put it on the skin. It feels really, really good. And after I had my threading, that's what they were like, look, if you can, we're going to give you a couple samples of this, take it home, but use this just to sort of heal that area. see how it feels. And they put it on right after I had it done. I was like,
This
oh,
is
I like
great.
this. I like
My
this.
my old podcast host, Ryan, loves that line, but he, I was like, "Ooh, $500 on like, between the T because the
It's
TNS is
expensive.
what, $300,
It's
the HA5
expensive.
is like another 300. So the
Yeah.
Revision has a body firming cream that's like 260. I mean, honey, I've been like
I'm bathing in it.
I put
I
it
love it.
everywhere.
I love
I
it.
put it everywhere. Well, listen, that was why the last New Beauty box was such a huge
Yes.
value
Yes, it was. It was
because you had
amazing.
all of these phenomenal products for
Incredible.
like amazing.
And then one
Lori.
last
Yeah.
secret
Oh,
that
yeah.
I'll
Yeah.
share, which is, this is again, I'm going to throw it to the old back, but it's my go-to. I've now used this product for probably 30 years. And it's the last thing I do. And I do it every day, every morning, every night. Is this, it's called Colostrum Cream. And it's from Epicurean Discovery.
Okay.
And it has this beautiful smell, gorgeous application, really leaves your skin glowing.
Well, you are glowing right
Glowing.
now. So this colostrum cream is it Epicurean? Is that an expensive line?
It's, I would say it's mid
Mid
tier.
price? Like
Yeah, it's mid tier.
ballparks?
I think the colostrum cream for maybe a 3 ounce is $100.
Okay, so yeah, like mid-tier price. Perfect.
Yeah, more mid tier. Yeah. Yeah.
And you
It
just
was
and
one of
so
the first skincare lines I ever used, you know, back in the day when I, was just a person trudging along, like trying to get it done.
you're just one of the gals. So,
Exactly.
you put that on last?
I do.
Daytime and nighttime or just nighttime?
Daytime and nighttime, both.
Wow, you look so gorgeous right now.
Oh, that's very nice of you.
Your
Thank you.
skin's but I mean, your skin is I remember I asked, I was like, "Do you have a gorgeous tan?" No, you just have gorgeous skin.
I don't have a tan.
It's
I actually
stunning. You've
don't
got
tan
that
my face. I never tan my face.
reason also that you look like that. The sun
Never.
is not your friend.
I've never had a tan on my face, but don't look at the rest of my body because.
Oh, not me. When I was in my 20s, I had a tanning salon membership.
Woo!
Actually, my teens in high
Yeah,
school.
you look good. You look really good. I'm surprised
Like,
because
well, because now you can't. I mean, in my
no,
20s, I really stopped. In my
it's
li-
very damaging.
in my 30s, okay, true confessions. I stopped going to the tanning salon in my mid 20s, and although I did it for my wedding twice, um,
Oh,
you know what? I was wearing a white dress. And I wasn't going
yeah,
to self tan. And I was like, no, I'm not taking a chance that anything is rubbing off on this. And you know how we do the best we can? We do the
we
best we
do.
can. And I was
We
like,
do.
in my head, I was like, you know what? 10 minutes in this booth is probably better than me sitting outside for like 18 hours. All bad, 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 bad. But I'll
Yeah.
never do it
If
again.
I if
And
I
now when
could,
I go to the beach, I have a hat. I wear
yeah,
18 different kinds of sunscreen. I put the
that's
sunscreen
me.
on a half hour before you go outside.
That's
My
right.
husband always puts it on at the beach, and I'm like, too late, babe. You missed your
That's one of
shot.
the things I learned from Dr. Murad, very, very valuable, which was it doesn't matter if it's foggy, if it's cloudy, if it's sunny, if it's rainy. Ladies, put on your sunscreen
Every
on
day.
your face. Protect
Every
your
day.
face.
When I go for a run now, I'm playing around. So I do the unseen sunscreen because I love it. It's a matte finish.
Hmm.
It is silicone. So if you're anti-silicones, to each their
Yeah.
own. I love it. I
Yeah.
love the finish. And you know what? For me, it's one of the things I've realized I'll wear it every day. But
Yeah.
then I put on top of it like a little tinted sunscreen right now that I was trying from Glow Skin. It was gorgeous, like super light, but it
I'm
was
going
a
to try
double.
that because I've been looking for a tinted sunscreen.
It's nice. It's like a thick one, and I think it's a 40 SPF 40 or
Which I
45.
like. I
Yeah,
like that. Good. That's a
it,
good number for me.
it was good, but I double it up just to go for my run with the hat.
That's like me when I go to the beach. I mean, look, I've born and raised Southern California. I'm a sun worshiper. I'm sorry, everybody. I know it's horrible for me, but I can't help it. I'm a sun worshiper. I want to be in the sun. I always say I'm like a lizard, like always looking for the next like opportunity to lay in the sun, but I don't put my face in the sun or my neck.
Right. Oh no, because ladies in here, thank you, mom. Thank you, mom, for always. My mom was like, not in here. This is
Yep,
going to show your age.
that's right.
And we want to keep this all. But no, now when I'm out at the beach, same thing. Face covered, body slathered up, repeat timing, all of the things, but I also like being out in the sun too. I just like the way it feels on my skin.
Yeah. No,
But
I always say life-giving orb.
it is. You know who's life-giving orb to you? You are my you have I I am just obsessed with you. And I think now everybody can see at the beginning, I was like, I'm so excited to talk to you. But
Well, the
I can tell
feeling is
anybody
mutual,
listening is
obviously.
because you're so freaking smart. And I love that you're
Oh.
just like, let's talk. Like, let's get into it.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, nothing to hide. I'm open book, you know. I've done a lot, I've seen a lot, and I've learned a lot.
A lot. And it's
A
nice. Look, we
lot.
need to pass on. I love that you're like, willing to come on and be like, here's the products I've tried. Here's what I like. Here's what I don't like. Here's what, because look, I feel like we all got to help each other. We got to all help as much help as we can get.
I
Um,
completely agree with that. I'm
on
I'm
that,
I'm all about the sisterhood.
all about the sisterhood. And
Yep.
before I let you go, though, in terms of Revitalash, is there anything like that you're kind of because I feel like you're always like on the cutting edge. Is there anything new in that space that you're excited about?
Oh my gosh, I'm so glad you asked me that
Oh,
question.
good. Oh, I wasn't
So,
sure.
yeah, so I we have an amazing launch happening in October that I'm so excited about, but I can't really go into it because obviously it's still proprietary, but it's literally something that is not available on the market now. No one has done it. It's new. It's a new way to really look at, the eye area and lashes and brows, and I'm like beyond excited about it. And we've been working on it now for 3 years. So to finally have it almost see the light of day, stoked. So look for that. And then in the next year and a half, we are going to really launch two products that are going to really reestablish us as, I should say, again, just reinforce us as the leader in the category. And again,
I
we
love
have been
it.
working on these for a long, long time. That's one thing I will say about Revitalash. There is no fast beauty. That's not what it's about. We have a physician who is he's got to do the research, got to do all the different testing. I mean, it has to be perfect, and we have to know that it will do no harm.
Ah, amazing. I love that. I love that. And thank you so much, especially with your eye area.
Oh my gosh. And I always am amazed at the things people will do to their eyes. I'm like,
Well,
what in
listen,
the
Latisse, I mean, I've used it. It certainly works. I went to an eye doctor who's like, "What the hell are you doing? Like this can change the pressure of your eye."
people don't know.
No, they don't. And he's like, "Have you been under an ophthalmologist? Like, have you been coming in?" I'm like, "No, no, no. It's just like signed up and like now I get it online." And he was like, "Bad."
Yeah. People don't know. And it
So
kind of goes back to the skincare thing too. I have seen people burn their skin terribly with products, terribly. And I thought, oh, you're not supposed to combine those things. But again, people
my
don't know.
mother just did that with Murad. Oh, I'm
Oh,
gonna say it. She used the
what did she
retinol.
use?
She was using the retinol serum, and I think but she was using it every day. She just didn't know, "Mom, I love you,
Uh,
but we have to share this with the world." It it could have just been the fact that she was using it every day. My bad for not more clearly saying, "Mom, you need to really start this slow." I feel awful about that. When you start with a retinol, it's like once a week.
yep.
Not once every other day, one time a week, but it burned her skin. Like,
Anytime vitamin C, retinols, any of the acids,
slow.
start slow. Start slow. You don't need to you're not going to change your aging in a week anyway. So
No.
start slow and make sure that your skin can actually tolerate it, because you'd be surprised at the things that your skin can't tolerate.
Yeah, and also know that sometimes, like I said, going way back, um, I I used retinol. I was using the Skin Medica retinol for years, and then something this winter, and who knows what it was. It could be the stress. It could be anything else that was going on in my life, hormonal. Who knows? My skin just couldn't take it. So I said, you know what? I'm going to put you on the shelf right now,
Yeah.
and then I'll try to come back to you. But for right
And
now, this is
oftentimes
not working.
what we've also realized, because we're constantly testing formulas, we're constantly testing, and this person can have no sensitivity, and then we test 10 weeks later and they have sensitivity. What we've noticed is that the environment, if it's drier outside, your skin is more sensitive.
Right.
There's
I mean,
just if
New
we've had a lot
York
of wind,
winter,
yeah, yeah,
you know,
winter.
And there's no in New York in apartments, it's like that there's 2 temperature options, window open or window shut because it's radiator heat, right? Like there's
It's
no
true. It's
controlling
true.
it. Oh my God, Lori,
Yeah.
I'm just
No, you're
obsessed with
absolutely
you.
right. So, do your research, make sure you know what you're putting on your skin. Talk to your girlfriends. I
Yeah.
think, I mean, let's don't keep it a secret, ladies.
No.
We've all tried things. Share the information and help a girl out.
Absolutely. Lori, I'm bringing you back on. This is going
I
to
would
be
love
like,
it.
we need to this keep updating one another on everything. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you so, so much. If people do want to look into Revitalash, if they want to know more about those products, where should they go?
I would go to revitalash.com.
Awesome. Wonderful. And again,
Absolutely.
one of the big faves is the primer.
Yes, it's
Yeah.
like I said, hot, hot, hot all around the world. Primer mascara duo.
And the
Tapping in.
mascara. Amazing. Love, love, love.
Yeah.
Have the best time. And of course, you guys know how obsessed I am with Lori. So if you want me to pass on any questions,
I'd love it.
let me know. You can always email me at hello@artbeautypodcast. You know what? Sometimes you guys do this and sometimes you don't. But I think after this and knowing everything that Lori knows, I'm going to get a lot of emails. I will pass them along to her. We will definitely bring her back. And if you want to check us out on Facebook, you want to see us on Instagram, of course, here on YouTube, it's at Art Beauty Podcast. And as always, we'll see you next Tuesday.
Thanks, Amber.